Rabbi.
We're learning Mishna Yevamos, Perek Tes Vav, chapter 15. We started Mishnah Daled. We will just, for convenience sake, start from the Mishnah again. Hakol Nemanim Le'ida, all are believed to testify on her behalf that her husband died, meaning not just her herself, but other people also, meaning other women, or even a slave, that would not be typically accepted for testimony. In this case, they would. But there were a couple of exceptions for which women cannot testify, and that is chutz mechamaisa, except for her mother-in-law, ubas chamaisa, or the daughter of her mother-in-law, which means her husband's, or the daughter of her husband's sister, v'tzarasa, her co-wife, via vimta, and her husband's brother's wife, one who could potentially land up being a co-wife in case there is a situation of yibum, ubas baila, and the daughter of her husband, her stepdaughter. All these women were concerned that their testimony could be somewhat suspect because of the fact that they may want to mess her up, and therefore we say that these women, we cannot rely on their testimony to say that her husband died to allow her to remarry. Now, the next part of the Mishnah is going to focus. I'm sorry about that. Okay, now the Mishnah continues. And the Mishnah, in order to continue the Mishnah, we need a little bit of an introduction to this part. And that is that we just said that these five women cannot be believed to say that her husband died, right? They're not believed. At the same time, there is a halacha that if a man wants to go ahead and divorce his wife, what does he got to do to her? He's got to give her a get. What if he's in one country, she's in a different country, and he cannot personally hand it to her? So he sends a shliach. He sends an agent, and the agent represents him to give the get to his wife. The agent before has to go ahead and actually has to testify that this get, that this bill of divorce is legit, that it's real, it's valid. He has to say that he knows that it wasn't forged. He's got to say, he's at least, he's basically has to come in and testify that, the testimony that he says, the Mishnah Gittin says, he has to declare, b'fanai nechtam. In front of me, the get was written. In front of me, it was sealed, which means he is saying, I saw that it's legit, it's valid. And that's what he's got to do. Now, what if the shliach is her mother-in-law? It's the mother-in-law of this woman she's the shliach. She happened to be where her son is, and now she's coming to the country where the wife is, and she's the shliach. Can she be the shliach to say that it's a valid get? And the halacha is yes. Any of these same five women who cannot say that the husband died could be the shliach, could be the agent to bring the get and to say that it's valid. So the Mishnah asks, Ma ben get lebisa? What's the difference between a get and misa? If we're afraid that when it comes to the testimony about the husband's death, we're afraid that they're going to be not truthful it's because they want to mess her up, why don't we say the same thing here by the get? That she's supposed to be saying it's valid, maybe it's really not, and she's trying to mess her up. So the Mishnah says, Shakasav mechiach, because the written document is what tells us the truth. Yeah. Meaning, the way you have to understand it is that in the case of the get, once the get is valid, once we know it's valid, then it's the get that says she could get married, right? The get is what does it. The get is a document. Really, as what's legal paper. Right? It's a legal paper with witnesses. In essence, it is really the proof to say that she can remarry. It's not only the proof; it's the means. But it's the proof for her to remarry. Oh, now you say, but we have to figure out. Maybe there was some funny stuff that went on. It's a faraway country. Maybe there's some funny stuff that went on over there. So the way the shliach says, no, it's valid. But it's not the shliach, it's not the testimony of the shliach that allows her to remarry. It's the get. It's the document that says she can get remarried. We just need her to say it's valid. For that, we're going to accept even the testimony of these five women. And the way they bring down here in the notes, we do not suspect that these women would go so far as to forge a get. Meaning basically, if they want to mess her up with a get, they have to forge it. And that's not a very easy thing to do. So to go ahead and so again, if we needed their testimony, if it's their testimony that allows us to remarry, like by the witnesses that her husband died, okay, we can't rely on her testimony alone. It's not enough. not enough evidence for us because of the suspicions about her. But where you essentially have a document, and it's a document that says she can remarry, and now it's a question of just saying that it's valid and not considered, not suspecting that she forged the whole thing. That already we don't go so far to do. We can allow her to say it's valid, and we have the get. We have the actual document that says she can remarry. Okay, so that's what it means. Ma ben get lemisa shakasav mechiach. What's the difference between a document of divorce, and death? How come she can be believed to be an agent about the divorce and not be believed regarding the death of the husband? Shakasav mechiach. That's because the written document is what shows that she is able to remarry. Next, all right. We have a story of a situation. One witness came and said that her husband died. One witness. Is he believed?
Two.
Yes. One.
The answer is yes. If she can be believed, and even another woman can be believed, besides for the 5 women we said before, one witness can be believed too. So, one witness says he died. Venisis, literally translated, means she remarried. But it doesn't literally mean doesn't have to mean that. It can mean she was given permission to remarry. Based on the testimony of the one witness, she was given permission to remarry. Now another witness shows up and he says, no, he's not dead, he's alive. So we've got one witness and one witness. They're contradicting each other. So another witness came and said, he didn't die. Now, if you had 2 witnesses saying about a man that he died, and then 2 witnesses came and said, no, he's alive, what would we do then?
We disqualify the first.
Well, we couldn't go further, right? Yeah. There's a contradiction between the witnesses. We couldn't go further. Here we have a situation of where one witness is believed, and you have one witness against one witness. Says the Mishna, this woman does not go out. That means that if she was given permission to remarry, the permission continues. If she got remarried already, she could stay married to her husband. And that's because, in essence, the witness who says that he is dead is believed, right? We believe her. The Chachamim say, we believe this one witness. The one witness who comes and says, no, he's alive. Do we believe him? Then we never gave that kind of testimony any special power. The testimony to be able to free a woman to remarry, that we allowed the evidence, if even one witness to let her get married. But to say no, she can't get married, there's no special belief for that. There's no special power given to one witness to say that. And therefore, you've got the one witness that is halachically believed, and the other witness who is not halachically believed. The halacha is, whenever one witness is believed, it has the power of 2. And therefore, the one witness that says that he's dead has the power of 2 witnesses. The one witness that came and said he's not dead doesn't have that power. And therefore, we say that the testimony of the first witness is going to remain, even though another witness came and contradicted. But we have to know that there's that, that's not as simple as it sounds. It depends. I'll read to you from the bottom here. However, if the court had not yet accepted the testimony of the first witness, meaning they had not yet ruled that she may remarry, that witness does not yet have the credibility of 2 witnesses, and the testimony of another witness will be believed to contradict him. The only time we're going to give that one witness the power of 2 witnesses is when the point has come that they've already accepted his testimony. The Beis Din has already officially paskined. They say they spoke to him, they asked him whatever questions they have to ask him, they spoke to him, and they paskined, they rendered a decision, she can remarry. Okay, at that point, that one witness gets the power of 2, and therefore one other witness can't contradict. But if, let's say, the witness came to Beis Din, and the Beis Din didn't yet accept his testimony, didn't yet render the decision to say that she can get remarried, at that point, he's still not like 2 witnesses. And at that point, it's 1 against 1, he gets knocked off. So our Mishna is talking about where they already accepted his testimony, they already rendered the decision that she can remarry, then already the one witness doesn't help. Now, let's look at the next case. Adam Remes. One witness said he died. Ushnayim Eimrim Loi Meis. And then 2 witnesses came and said he didn't die. Afabi Shenisis, even though she got married, which will mean even if she actually got married, Tate says she has to leave. Now, let's think about this case. The one witness came and said he was dead. Mm-hmm. Was he believed?
He was believed.
Was he believed like two witnesses?
No, two.
Why? Why are you saying that? Because then why would the other two contradict him? Okay. So there's really, you could read this Mishnah and learn it, that the Mishnah is saying like this. The one witness who came, and we say he's even believed like two witnesses, doesn't mean he has the same power of two real witnesses. He has the power of two witnesses against another one witness. Mm-hmm. But to say that he's believed against two real witnesses, that not. But actually, the Bartanura says it's more than that. We've mentioned that a woman may testify her husband died to allow her to remarry. One woman can testify for another woman that her husband died. One witness can testify for another witness one witness can testify that the husband died. What if this person is a pasala edis? He's a person who is invalidated from being a witness. He's a gambler. He's a ganef. And he's not allowed to testify. He can't be accepted as a witness. Is he accepted to say her husband died? The answer is yes. Because once we say you don't need two witnesses, that means we're not working with the regular parameters of testimony, of edis. And therefore, even a pasal, even an invalid person, can go ahead and testify. So here's the situation. You have one witness came and said the husband died. Believed, right? Yes. But then two invalid witnesses came and said that he's not dead. In this case, we say we have, so in this case, we have, one novel type of witness, and then we have two novel types of witnesses. They're both really of the same power, right? And therefore, in that case, you follow the majority opinion. You follow the majority of what's being said. The one witness says he's dead. The two witnesses who are, again, invalid, but they're still acceptable for this testimony. If they would come and they would say that he died, or one of them would even come and say he died, it would be accepted. All right, now it's two. And in essence, like we said before, are they believed to say he didn't die? Not necessarily. But at the end of the day, if you're dealing with a bunch of witnesses that are not really valid witnesses, and then then you have to follow the majority of the witnesses of what they say. So again, it really comes out at the end that the one witness who says that the husband dies and accepted, and it's considered like two, is when it's going against one. Yeah. But when we say that two witnesses come against the first, it doesn't have to be two valid witnesses. It can be two invalid witnesses. And because we're dealing in general here with witnesses that aren't typically your kosher witnesses, in that situation, you're going to follow the majority. So when the first witness said that the husband died, and then the other two come and say he didn't die, she's not going to be able to remarry. Or if she is remarried, she doesn't have to leave her husband. Shnayim oimrim meis, ve'ed oimer loy meis. Two witnesses, two invalid witnesses said he died. And one witness said he didn't die. The other way around now. Now imagine if this was regular witnesses. Two regular witnesses said he died. One witness said he didn't die. That one witness is going to be able to contradict those two? He's saying loy meis to one witness. He's not even where he's given the power for his testimony to be believed. One is going to, so let's read the Mishnah. Chaim oimer meis, two say he died. Ve'ed oimer loy meis, one said he didn't die. Afabi shaloi nisis, even though she didn't marry yet, tinase, she can marry. She can marry. The two witnesses said he died, and the one said he didn't die. I'm sorry. So it could make sense. Right. No, it could. Even though at the end of the day, we're saying that one witness can't go up against two witnesses. Okay, I take that back. But the way the Bartanura explains the Mishnah is follow what we said before. Let's say these two witnesses who said he died were invalid. They were invalid. And one witness says he didn't die. Meaning they're essentially invalid witnesses, but they say he died. And we believe them, because in the case of a woman getting able to remarry after the death of her husband, we believe in invalid witnesses. So the two invalid witnesses said he died. Ve'ed oimer loy meis, and one witness says he didn't die. Afabi shaloi nisis, even though she hasn't married yet, tinase, she may marry. Now, in this case, the Bartanura points out the two invalid witnesses are being lenient. They're allowing her to remarry. And the one witness who's coming against them is being more stringent. She's trying to say that she can't remarry. Mm-hmm. This part of the Mishnah is trying to tell you that this idea of following the majority of witnesses when we're dealing with witnesses that typically aren't kosher, but we allow them here regarding the death of a husband, we will follow the majority of opinion, not only to be stringent, like in the case we said before, where the two witnesses said he didn't die, but even in the case where the two witnesses said he did die, again, if there's only one witness that said he didn't die, we'll follow the majority of what the witnesses say, even to be lenient to allow her to remarry. Okay. Also, is forbidden to tell rechilas, meaning to tell someone what someone else did or said about them, even in front of an individual, meaning just to tell that person himself, and all the more so in public, because whenever you do these things of lashon hara in public, you can cause more damage to the person you're speaking about, because more people hear about it, more people may believe it, and the more damaging that it may be. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Rabbi.
What happens in the case?
That was the complete